Have you ever wondered why some people enter life with unimaginable advantages? Why do some, despite starting from difficult circumstances, rise and achieve what others only dream of? There is one factor they all share. They never stop learning and developing themselves every day. Consider this. While most people spend time relaxing or indulging in fleeting pleasures, successful individuals dedicate their time to reading, learning, and improving themselves. They don't just learn from classrooms, they learn from life, from those who came before them, and from books, invaluable resources containing thousands of years of experience. Self-learning is not just about acquiring knowledge. It is the way to transform your life. The books you read are not merely pages filled with information. They are doors opening to new worlds, new opportunities, and most importantly, new directions for your life. You might say, I don't have time to read, but I tell you, and the time you invest in books is not just an investment in knowledge, but in your very life. A single book can change a thought, and a changed thought can alter your actions. That is how you change your destiny. But it's not just about books. Learning must be continuous. Personal development is not a one-time journey, but an ongoing one. Every day, every hour, every minute. And don't forget, if you stop learning, you will never keep up with the world's changes. When you stop, the world moves forward and you will be left behind. So why not start today? Why not begin investing in yourself right now? Start learning, start developing yourself through books and life's lessons. Because the journey of personal development, as I've said, is a lifelong one. Are you ready? Are you ready to open those books and let them guide you to unexplored opportunities? Or will you keep waiting, only to look back one day and realize you're still standing in the same place? Take action now. Read a book, learn a new lesson, and set goals to change. Because you are the only one who can decide where you will go and who you will become in this life. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, without books, what would you be like? You might have a stable job. You might earn money. But would you truly achieve the highest level of success you desire? Could you elevate yourself to new heights by simply doing daily tasks without learning and investing in knowledge? I think the answer is clear. You cannot. Why do I say this? Books are a priceless treasure of knowledge and experience. Every book you read contains the secrets its author distilled over their lifetime. Each page is a step forward in your personal development journey. You learn not only from their successes, but also from their failures and mistakes. And most importantly, you don't have to make those mistakes yourself because you've learned from their experience. Think about this. When you read a great book, you're not just reading for entertainment. You're engaging with ideas, strategies, and principles that can completely change how you view life and work. You're learning lessons that, without books, would take you years to discover. The next question is, how can books help you develop yourself? A book can encapsulate thousands of hours of the author's learning. What they learned throughout their career, from starting out to achieving success, is condensed into those pages. If you don't read, you're missing the chance to learn from those who've gone before you. Books don't just provide new information, they help you see problems differently, revealing opportunities where you once saw only challenges. Reading is like searching for solutions to your problems. You don't read just to read. You read to find tools and methods to address issues in your work, personal life, and relationships. When you face difficulties, you don't just need mental strength to overcome them, you need specific tools to solve them. Personal development is a lifelong journey. You can't stop after one lesson or one book. The key is to maintain a habit of continuous learning. Successful people don't stop learning after achieving a little success. They are the ones who keep reading, learning, and applying new ideas to their lives every day. You've probably heard the saying, you become the person you learn from. And it's true, what you learn today determines who you'll become in the future. If you don't learn, you stagnate. You won't reach the level you aspire to without investing in daily learning. Remember this, learning is an investment in yourself. Reading books and learning from those who succeeded before you not only broadens your perspective, but also develops your strategic thinking, leadership skills, and problem-solving abilities. So, when you learn from books and other self-learning sources, you're not just gaining knowledge, you're building a priceless treasure that helps you overcome any challenge in life and work. When you realize learning is limitless, you'll see you can achieve anything you want, not by luck, but because you've prepared the knowledge and skills needed to face and solve any situation. At this point, I want you to ask yourself, how much time have you spent in the past month reading and learning? If you're not reading, if you're not investing in yourself through learning, how can you expect to change your life? Starting today, build a habit of reading every day. Read for at least 20 to 30 minutes daily. Reading isn't something distant, it's part of your daily life. The books you read today will shape the person you become in the future. Remember, books are not out of reach. They are tools to help you take control of your life. Never stop learning, because learning is the only way to keep growing and achieving success. Start learning today, and you'll notice significant changes in your life, because self-learning is the path to success. Imagine standing before a thick book, its pages brimming with knowledge, and asking yourself, what will I learn from this book? Don't worry, because I have advice for you. Effective reading isn't about finishing page after page, but about absorbing and applying the lessons from those pages to your life. The reality is, many people read books but learn nothing because they lack a proper reading method. Reading just to finish a book isn't the goal. The true purpose is to learn and apply the knowledge from what you've read into your life. So, how do you read effectively? How do you not only finish a book, but gain real value from it? Let's explore 3 key methods to read and learn purposefully and effectively. Read with purpose. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people reading without knowing what they're looking for. Never read a book just because it's good or because someone told you to read it. Every book you read should serve a specific purpose in your life. For example, if you want to learn about personal finance, don't just pick a general finance book. Choose one that addresses the specific issue you're facing, like investing, saving, or managing expenses. Set a goal before reading, and throughout the process, keep in mind that you're seeking solutions to your problems. I recommend making a list of questions you want answered before starting a book. For instance, how can I start an effective investment strategy? Or what can I do to develop leadership skills? As you read, keep those questions in mind and focus on passages that help answer them. Focus on applying knowledge. Reading without applying is a waste of time. The purpose of learning isn't to gain more knowledge, but to use that knowledge in your life. After each chapter, pause and ask yourself, how can I apply what I just learned to my life? Don't just read passively. Turn each lesson into specific actions. Don't let it slip away and be forgotten. Take notes. Write down ideas you want to try or changes you want to make in your habits. For example, after reading a book on financial management, don't just learn about saving. Make a concrete plan. I will reduce my monthly spending by changing my spending habits over the next 3 months. This not only helps you remember the knowledge, but also creates real changes in your life. Learn continuously, build a daily reading habit. Success doesn't come from a few books you read in your lifetime. It comes from a lifelong learning habit. If you only read once and stop, you'll stay at a basic level of understanding. But if you build a daily reading habit, you'll continuously expand your knowledge and skills. I encourage everyone to spend at least 30 minutes daily reading. Daily practice is the only way to develop a sustainable mindset. Start with accessible books and gradually move to more complex ones as you gain confidence. How to build a reading habit. Set a fixed time each day to read, perhaps early in the morning, before bed, or during lunch breaks. Reading daily will help you form a habit of continuous learning, and over time, you'll notice a clear change in how you approach problems, handle work, and face life's challenges, applying reading methods to your life. You now know how to read effectively, but how do you sustain and apply what you've learned to your life? First, start by building a daily reading habit, beginning with books aligned with your goals. Then, as you read, remember you're not just reading for the sake of reading. Each book is an opportunity to transform your life. Make learning a part of your daily life. You don't need to spend hours learning, just a few minutes each day, reading and reflecting on what you've learned. By doing this daily, you'll automatically create lasting changes in your mindset and actions. Effective reading and learning isn't easy, but if you apply the right methods, you'll gain immense value. Don't view learning as a task, but as an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Now is the time to act. Start with the smallest books. Apply what you learn to your life, and most importantly, maintain a daily reading habit. When you do this, you'll see your life change in ways you never imagined. One of the most important things in life is learning from those who have succeeded. You don't need to go through every challenge, make every mistake, or face the difficulties they did. Instead, you can learn from what they did right, from their strategies, habits, and mindsets that led to their success. Think about it. If you want to learn to drive, you don't start by building a car from scratch. You learn from those who already drive well, from those with experience. Similarly, in life and career, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to find those who came before you, those who succeeded, and learn from them. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This means the people around you influence how you think, act, and ultimately, how you succeed. If you want to succeed, choose people who can help you grow, learn from them, and actively draw lessons from their journeys. How to learn from successful people. Find teachers, mentors, and inspirational figures. No one succeeds alone. Even the most exceptional people have teachers, companions, or mentors who help them realize their potential and overcome difficulties. To learn from successful people, find those who can guide you, share their experiences, and inspire you. Remember, so a teacher doesn't always have to be the best in your field, but they should be someone who helps you see problems differently, develop the skills and mindset needed for success. Find a mentor and learn from them. Learn from reality, not just theory. Successful people don't just talk about abstract theories. They share lessons drawn from their real-life journeys. Pay attention to their real stories, the situations they faced, and how they resolved them. For example, when learning from a leader, observe how they handle crises, manage time, or work with teams. These lessons aren't just theoretical, they can be directly applied to your life. Learning from their failures and successes will help you grow quickly. Focus on success habits. Success doesn't come from a single breakthrough or strategy. It comes from small habits practiced consistently every day. When learning from successful people, pay attention to their habits. What time do they wake up? What do they do in the first hours of the day? How do they maintain energy and motivation? Success isn't what you do in a single day, but what you do every day. Successful people maintain positive habits. From reading books and exercising to creating clear daily plans, learn from these habits and apply them to your life. Why learning from successful people matters? Because learning from others shortens your path to success. You don't have to experiment with everything or make all the mistakes successful people did. They've already taken the hardest steps and documented their lessons. By learning from them, you not only learn how to act, but also how to think. The key is to learn how successful people view and solve problems. When you learn from those who came before, you enhance your problem-solving skills, improve your mindset, and build more sustainable strategies. Build relationships with successful people. Connect and share. Don't hesitate to connect with people you admire. Actively seek opportunities to meet those who share your aspirations or have achieved what you want. Connecting isn't just about learning, it's about sharing, helping, and building lasting relationships. Be ready to listen and learn. When you have the chance to learn from someone successful, don't rush to criticize or show your ego. Open your heart to listen and absorb what they share. Whether it's advice on communication, financial management, or lessons in patience, find learning opportunities in every situation. Learning from successful people doesn't only happen in formal conversations, but also in meetings, workshops, or even daily observations. Opportunities to learn from others can appear anywhere. Always keep an eye out for lessons around you. Ultimately, remember that no one succeeds alone. You need to learn from those who came before to go faster and farther. When you learn from successful people, you draw lessons not only from their successes, but also from their failures and decisions. Start seeking teachers, mentors, and learning from the success stories around you. Their lessons will be precious gems in your personal development journey. Let their stories be the motivation to keep moving forward. Imagine standing before a thick book, its pages full of knowledge, and asking yourself, what will I learn from this book? Don't worry, because I have advice for you. Effective reading isn't about finishing page after page, but about absorbing and applying the lessons from those pages to your life. The reality is, many people read books but learn nothing because they lack a proper reading method. Reading just to finish a book isn't the goal. The true purpose is to learn and apply the knowledge from what you've read into your life. Learning cannot be a vague, aimless journey. If you don't know where you're going, you'll never arrive. You'll be like a boat without a rudder, drifting with the waves, without knowing your destination. Goals are the map guiding your life. Without goals, you lack direction. Goals not only help you focus, but also allow you to evaluate your progress and determine what to do next to achieve success. Why are goals important in learning? Goals guide your learning journey. Goals help you identify why you're learning and what the ultimate purpose of learning is. Without clear goals, learning is just reading books or attending courses without a specific outcome. But with goals, every book, of course, or lesson becomes a crucial step toward what you want to achieve. Imagine wanting to become a financial expert. You can't randomly learn everything about finance without a clear plan. You need to know what to learn first, what to learn next, and how to apply what you've learned in practice. Goals help you focus on what matters. With goals, you can easily distinguish what's important from what's not. Goal-oriented learning helps you avoid distractions and wasting time on activities that don't add value. You'll know exactly what you need to learn and how to learn it most effectively. For example, if you want to develop leadership skills, you'll seek materials and courses related to leadership instead of reading books unrelated to your goal. Goals help you filter and focus on essential knowledge. Goals help you measure progress. Goals don't just help you focus on learning. They're also a way to measure your progress. You may not notice progress immediately, but with specific goals, you'll see clear positive changes over time. Setting learning goals is like planning a long journey. You need milestones and checkpoints to ensure you're on the right path. When you complete a small goal, you can feel proud and move on to the next one. How to set learning goals? Set specific, clear goals. Goals must be clear and specific. Never set vague goals like I want to learn well. Set specific goals like I will read 3 books on financial management in the next 3 months. A specific goal not only gives you clear direction, but also helps you focus on tangible outcomes. Break goals into small steps. Big goals can feel overwhelming and make you want to give up. Break them into specific, achievable daily actions. For example, if your goal is to read 3 books, we set a goal to read 1 chapter a day or 1 book a week. Breaking goals into smaller steps helps you track progress and stay motivated as you complete each one. Evaluate progress and adjust as needed. Regularly assess your progress. If you feel you're off track, adjust your goals. Don't be afraid to change goals if you realize your learning approach isn't effective. Changing strategies isn't failure. It's a step closer to success. Set goals for outcomes and feelings. Besides setting goals for specific outcomes, don't forget to set goals for how you want to feel. Learning isn't just a rational process, it's an emotional journey. When you set goals to feel the changes within yourself, you'll maintain long-term motivation and find meaning in your learning. Create motivation from setting goals. Goals not only keep you on track, but also provide great motivation for your learning journey. When you know where you're going and why you're doing it, you'll feel more excited to pursue your goals. Always remember that goals are not just the path to success, they fuel your perseverance and motivation every day. You may not see results immediately, but each step you take brings you closer to the person you want to become. Goals are the driving force, pushing you forward. Set clear and specific learning goals. They will help you focus, measure progress, and keep pushing yourself. Don't get lost in the vast sea of knowledge without knowing your ultimate goal. Create a map for your learning journey, and remember, goals are the motivation that helps you take steady steps toward success. Start today. Set learning goals. Break them into specific actions and apply what you learn every day. You'll see your life change in ways you never imagined. When reflecting on your learning journey, you'll realize one crucial thing. Learning isn't just a part of life, it is life. Every time you read a book, learn a lesson, or apply a strategy, you're building a solid foundation for your future. No path to success exists without continuous learning. Remember, success isn't an event, it's a process. This process is built from small daily steps, from lessons you absorb from books, predecessors, teachers, and even your own failures. Success is the result of learning, improving yourself daily, and persisting on that path until you achieve what you desire. So where will you start? I urge you not to view learning as a task to complete, but as an opportunity to grow and build yourself. Start with small but valuable books and lessons. Read, learn, apply, and do it every day. Success doesn't come from big decisions, but from the small ones you make daily. The importance of continuous learning. Finally, learning doesn't stop at one stage or goal. Learning is a lifelong journey. You'll never reach the final destination of learning because life is always changing. So you must keep learning and growing. Every book, lesson, and teacher brings you closer to becoming the person you want to be. Always remember that nothing is more valuable than investing in yourself. What you learn today will shape the person you become in the future. That's why learning, setting learning goals, and applying knowledge to your life are so vital. If you haven't started your learning journey, start today. Don't wait for everything to be perfect or for things to get easier. Start with small steps and do it every day. You'll never regret what you learn. And you'll be amazed at the positive changes you'll see in your life. The world is full of opportunities, and you can achieve anything you want as long as you keep learning and improving. Build a habit of reading, learning, and applying new knowledge, and never stop growing. Because in the end, success isn't a destination, it's a journey of continuous growth and development. Believe in yourself. I start learning and take action now. You'll see the changes you desire. And more importantly, you'll become the person you've always dreamed of. Remember, you have the power to change your life. And it all begins with learning and applying what you learn.